let's dive into frequency. So how often are you hitting each body parts, for example? And is it dependent upon the body part?
Well, the split that I'm following at the minute is push-pull legs, and with a rest day before and after every leg workout. It seems to fit me quite well at the minute. It's something which I've, I say always done. Some recently, even I've just been doing 2 or 3 workouts a week just with the workload. After January, everyone wants to get fit, and I've just been doing so many PT sessions, and I just trained when I can. But now I'm trying to stick to that split where if it falls on a training day, I've got to train, even though I'm doing like 11, 12 PT sessions. I'm going to have to look at my calendar and think, right, I've got to get a workout in there, and I will.
So you'll do push, pull, legs, and then you'll take a rest day? Is that kind of how you arrange it? Or is it a rest day in between somewhere there?
Yeah, it's a rest day before and after every leg session.
Ah, okay. So your goal, we'll say, moving forward for the off season is even if you had a busy day and whatnot, you're sticking to that schedule. You're sticking to where the rest day lies and where the training days lies. You're not adjusting around, similar to when I spoke to Mark Oakes. I don't know if you caught that episode, but so you're kind of doing something like that moving forward.
I'll try my best. Literally, like I say, I've just got a coach about 2 weeks ago, and he's the one I've always done a push-pull legs, and I know about that split because I follow him where they have the rest day before and after. And I think just by having a coach, you're more likely to stick to that, where literally I'll look at my calendar and think, even if I've got all them sessions, I'm going to stick to this routine of training. So far I've done it. Even on the busy days, I've got that workout in. And sometimes it seems like, I could probably train now. I've got like a few hours, but it's a rest day, so I'm going to stick to it.
Okay, that's also discipline, right? You got to be strict, even if you have all that energy, like you said. And then the next day you might be so busy and a little bit tired. So there's a bit of trade-off with that, right?
Yeah, but I like it. I just like having that structure in place again.
Nice. You said on average, I guess it depends again on your schedule, but your sessions might last between 45 minutes and upwards of 2 hours sometimes.
Me workouts, yeah, because they're quite fast at the minute. There's probably 40 minutes it worked the other day. I timed it, and up to about an hour and 15. But it could be longer, but I'm just blasting through it.
And the main thing there is just decreasing the rest periods.
Yes, yeah,
okay.
That's the only thing I've been doing. Just minimal warm up. Just go straight into exercise. No like treadmill or anything beforehand. Just go for first exercise, get it done. Short rests, and then back home.
So you'll train each body part for the most part once every 5 days. It works out to be something like that. Sometimes twice a week, depending on where it lands, right?
Yeah, probably like once or twice. Yeah.
Right. Have you had experience training things once per week?
Yes, I've tried a bro split because, again, people I look up to like David Kay and a lot of the DFAC pros, they do bro splits. So I thought I'd try that. And obviously I've been forced to do it just with my schedule sometimes, where I'll just do the push-pull legs, but just push-pull legs in a single week just for my schedule. But I have tried like a bro split, but I do prefer this. I was on upper lower recently when I was just like do an upper body session. Next time I do a leg session, so it's varied a little bit. But now I'm back onto my favorite push-pull legs.
Yeah, so you just enjoy it from how things are arranged, basically.
Yeah, it's just fit it around the schedule, really. I mean, if I was an online coach, you'd have probably a bit more time. It's the PT sessions that do take up a lot of time, but I still like doing them, so I don't think I'd ever stop doing them.
So, and the push is like a chest, shoulders, triceps, pull, back, biceps, legs, hams, quads kind of thing? Or do you split the legs up too? Like one day hams, one day quads?
Well, this particular training plan that I'm doing now, there is like hamstrings at the start of my first pull workout, there's RDLs. And at the start of the second one, there's stiff leg deadlifts, which personally I've never done that. It's either been my leg session has just been legs. Pull has never been legs. But this time, there's some legs chucked in the pull workout as well.
Oh, okay. And as far as, so let's say you're doing a chest workout, just an example, more curious. You're hitting your push day, right? How many pressing movements will you do just specific to say your chest and like we'll say compound wise for the listeners?
Probably, if I were programming my own program, push, I'd have one that's chest dominant, one that's shoulder dominant. Probably do 2, if it's chest dominant, probably do 2 compounds on the chest, 1 isolation or 2, and just 2 sets per exercise as well. Maybe 3 on the isolation and then just some triceps, but really like low volume. Sometimes sometimes I just do one set of triceps, whereas this training plan that I'm doing now, there's 2 different tricep exercises and 3 sets each. So it's slightly more than what I used to do.
Because I want to touch on this one thing that you mentioned, because you said sometimes you would just do like one set of triceps and you're done, basically like an isolated, maybe it's a push down. I don't know what the exercise is for you, but done meaning because it's the failure and you felt like you had enough there in that specific region, simply also because the overlap, right? You're doing all the compound lifts too, so your triceps are getting fried there, right?
That was my thought process, yeah. So I've done all these compound movements. It's such a small muscle is my tricep. I'll just do one isolation on it, 1 set, maybe 2 sets. Same with biceps. I mean, you do all them compound exercises, the work in your biceps, and then just to do extra on the bicep, I just think it's a bit overdoing it.
So it'll be interesting to, from what you're going to experiment with now, which is you said it's quite a bit more volume. You're doing like 6 sets of isolated tricep or bicep work. Is that intentional to see if that will help bring that body part up?
I'm not sure. Like I say, I've just had my coach for a couple of weeks. That's the training plan. I'm just going to do it and just see what happens. I were aching first time I did it, all these bicep curls. But I think it's such a small muscle. I mean, well, it is on me. It's like I always prefer the compound exercises work, like your chest, your back, biceps. I mean, no, not many people notice biceps, do they really? Possibly they do, but
maybe with the front double bicep, that's about it though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So just a little synopsis for the listeners. You'll hit 2 or 3 compound exercises, maybe an isolation, and then another isolation for, say, the single joint stuff like the triceps or the biceps or the delts, right? So you're basically averaging like maybe 6 to 8 sets a workout for a specific region, body part region. So whether it's back, it might be like 6 total working sets, 6 to 8.
Well, I do like maybe 3 compounds. Say if it was a back workout, we'll do a lat pull down, a seated row, a pull over, a single arm row, then like a reverse fly. So I like to mix up the compounds with isolations just to let the biceps recover a little bit. I remember doing a back workout with someone. It were a lat pull down, seated rows, bent over rows, and by the time I got to like the 4th compound, my arms were knackered. So I like to chuck in like an isolation in there just to let the target muscle recover a little bit and the secondary muscles recover as well. 3 compounds, 2 isolations, like 3 sets each. So probably about 12 sets for a back workout. Well, and a couple of bicep curls. So it could be like up to 14 sets.
For a given workout. So that's like the actual
workout.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's relatively speaking, relative to what a lot, even natural pros are doing. I find that there's this extreme where I've heard guys talk about 40 sets, 30 sets, 20 sets plus, and then below 15, some below 10 even. I think Mark Oakes was like below 10 or something like that. It's cool to see the differences. And I'm sure execution has a lot to do with this, because how efficient you're stimulating a specific region and then how much you can tolerate in terms of recovery. Also, are you just genetically gifted from a recovery standpoint? Because I can't see it where if you're doing things so intensely to the point of true momentary muscular failure and maybe potentially beyond, that you can survive 30 plus sets, 6 to 7 days per week training. Again, unless you're genetically gifted as far as recovery capability is concerned, you're very young, maybe you might be able to get away with those things. But I don't know, as you get older, I think it becomes more difficult, right?
Yeah, it's junk volume really. And again, I used to probably do like 20 plus sets. I used to really work up a sweat before I competed, just go for the mid-workout pump and, I'd do like lots of what they call supersets where you'd hit the front and the back. I forgot, like chest press and then go straight to seated rows just for that pump at the gym. Whereas now I just don't do as much. And just from my experience, I'm, like I say, heavier than what I were when I first competed. I'm like nearly like 8 kilogram heavier. So just from changing the amount that I do and the rest periods has made me gain weight, add more muscle.